Okay, hello everyone. I hope you're enjoying the UC conference online in the cloud. Yesterday, actually, I went to the map wizardry, hosted by our book author, Kenneth Field, and also another cartographer, John Nelson. You use his tutorial actually for your lab 2 extra credit. By the way, wonderful job, guys. I'm so impressed by your work. Yay! That is amazing. That is amazing. Okay, and actually, I went there. They did this very cool thing. So Kenneth Field, our book author, he actually is located in London, in UK. Okay, and John Nelson is in US, and they do this online, and they alternatively, share the mapping tips and tricks and with us, and a lot of amazing things. I took my notes. You can see my notes. Well, I didn't find the time to have a paper, so I just grabbed some scratch paper, but I wrote them all down. But the main resources actually is the Arc blog of those two guys. Okay, so let me search. Maybe you can share that with you. Arc blog, ArcGIS blog. Let's see, John Nelson. Okay. Yes. Okay. I think it's this one. I think John and oh, give me a 404. Okay, let's see this one. Huh, another one. Okay. Okay, maybe. Let's see. Okay, but this one is not his blog. Let's see. No. But this is the key thing I actually want to share with you. Okay, copy. Let me go to the chat box. This is the highlight. I think this is the most important thing I learned yesterday. Okay, let's go to the chat box. Okay. Let me share the screen with you. Okay. All right, do you see my screen? Yes? Good. Okay, John actually yesterday shared with us his style gallery. So Esri actually have this gallery, okay? Different designers, okay? And cartographers, they design their styles, and you can just grab it and use that in your map. For example, the first one, My Precious. He tried to mimic this very, like Asian sky. The hand first is the hand drawing the style, and you can see all the labels and the icons, and also the patterns to show us the mountains and landscapes. And you can just download it, and then when you go to your Arc Pro, for example, let me go to this Topanga. Yes, I was playing with the labels. And then let me bring the catalog over here. Oh, I didn't share with you the ArcGIS, right? Okay, let me share just the screen. You see that? Yes. Okay. So in your catalog, how to open your catalog? This we call that pane or window. Okay. So let me close this. No catalog, right? So you go to the view. Okay. You go to view, and here you can see you can click on either of these. Okay. Catalog view, which basically is this tab, additional tab next to your map. Okay, you can go here to import your styles. You download it from the gallery, and then you can import it. And all the fonts, patterns, the line style, you can just use it. You don't have to, start from scratch. Okay, and there's another way to open it. Okay, if you click on here, catalog pane. Okay, that will be this, the pen, you can move to certain places. For example, I want to, dock it to the right. So you just, grab it, and you can see here, I have an icon here, button here. You just put it here, and then we'll dock it. Okay, it will dock it. And here you can, right click here, you can add style, your own style. You can also import your style. Okay, and here actually catalog is a very handy tool for you to manage all the resources you have actually. Okay, so for example here you have your maps. In this case I just have this one single map, but in your lab 2, in your lab 1, I guess, do you have an inset? You can have multiple maps listed here. Okay, you can access to that, and then you can change the, view the metadata, open it, convert it to scene or other things. Okay, here is your 2 boxes. It's your 2 boxes. This 2 box is related to your project. So anytime when you create a new project in ArcPro, actually they create 3 things for you. Okay, number 1 is your map. It's a map you see here. Let me annotate. Okay, it's a map you see here. Okay, another one is your toolbox. You can actually design your own toolbox. I went to another workshop. It's about generalization. When you use the topographic map, sometimes it's too detailed, right? You get the scale at 1 to 24,000, but your purpose basically is just to use 1 to 100,000, for example, right? You don't have to design from scratch. You can just generalize from your detailed topographic map, okay? And you can design your own tool. I actually downloaded it to my computer, but I haven't got it. I didn't have enough time to, play with it yesterday. So maybe I will share with you next week, okay? And another thing they created for you is this very important geodatabase, okay? So here today, after our Kato talk, the presentation, I will share with you this, okay? To, get the best result on your, labels and also annotation. There's a new concept today we are going to learn. You have to convert, all the layers to this geodatabase. Otherwise, won't work that well, okay? Lesson learned here. Okay, so that is a different thing. Here, actually, they can also create a folder for you. If you check that box, create a new folder for my project. Okay, you have a folder here. But what if you have your data in other folder? You can right click here, the folder, add folder connection. Okay, add folder connection. Then you can go, let me clear my drawings. You will have your access to your local drive. Okay, if you use Citrix, that will, measure it to, certain weird, ladder. You need to see which is which. Okay, or you can just type in / client, and then your drive, the ladder, for example, C, for example, D. Okay, you can just go to the folder. For example, I will go to the folder summer 2019, last year. Okay, and you just click there and click OK, and then you will have the access to your own folder. Okay, and then you can GIS25, and then you can drag and drop the layer and data to your map. Okay, so this is another very important thing. Right click on your folder, add folder connection. Okay, add folder connection. Okay, but here, John Nelson, his style, I went too far. Okay, you can see he actually designed a lot of style here. Okay, very, very beautiful. Okay, like this stitch. Oh, download it. Okay, so maybe I can download it somewhere. Okay, but I want to show you. Do you see the stitch pattern? So cool. Right? And you can see they place labels like this.
Mm-hmm.
He is a really good designer, actually, especially for the, the map. The best thing is he worked for map, and you can see it's so cool. This is the new one. This is the new one. You can see the Great Lakes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and the good news is you can just grab it and for your project. Last year, I remember one of our students, he actually used the old version, this one, felt style. Okay, and like this, you can see you have labels, land, different land, right? Water, many things. Okay, maybe I can download it. Okay, let's go to Topanga. Yes, labeling. Okay, and he used this style, this one, design a map for the Inca Trail in Peru. Inca Trail in Peru. It is so beautiful, that map, you can see. Okay, so definitely check it out. Not just John Nelson. I think Kenneth Field and us, also other cartographers, they do have their gallery, in this style gallery. Okay, for cartographers, that's a treasure box. Okay. All right, so yesterday I learned from this this workshop, map wizardry. I went. They told me they will share the video in 2 hours. So I didn't check it, but I will check it and share all the. I feel very satisfying after watching that YouTube, after watching that workshop. Okay, I will share it with you after after our class meeting. Okay. All right, so exciting. This, you can see this week, it looks like, it feels like I got drunk every day.
Yeah, I was dying of excitement when I watched that workshop.
Yeah, you're sure the same. Yes, exactly. It is so amazing. Anyways, today we actually have our second Kato talk. Okay. Well, here, I recommend you to take notes, because you just have you have 3 Kato talk, actually. The assignment you need to submit. You need to submit. Okay. So take notes if this Kato talk inspire you. Okay. You want to say a lot. You want to say a lot. Go ahead to write it up. I will later publish all 3 Kato talk. You need to submit, and then you can just submit. When you finish 3, you're done. Okay. All right. So Brian, Marilla, and Richard. Okay. Who want to go first?
How do I submit it so that everybody sees it?
Say that again.
I forgot what we did last time to submit it so that everybody sees it.
Everybody.
There's a share screen button on the bottom.
Oh, you need to share.
You open up your window.
Yes, and first share your document with us.
Okay.
Yes. And John have this question, but let me answer that later. Okay.
Where is it? Right here. Nope.
Okay.
Mm.
you sharing?
I am. Mine is too big of a file. 28 megabytes.
Oh, it's a very detailed map.
Yeah. I forgot who it was. Maybe Diana, the one that shared the government map last week. So it inspired me to show a different government map that how complex it can be.
Okay.
If you open the map on your screen and just share the screen, you might not have to send the file.
Sure, no problem.
Yes.
Oh, I have it right here. How do I share the screen?
At the bottom, there's a green button, share screen.
So just like expand your entire screen, and then
Oh.
that should be easier for you to locate it.
Thank you, Diana.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Nope. So go to.
Okay, here we go. Wow, geologic map.
Yeah. So like I said, this map. Well, I guess first off, I'm not the best I guess verbal communicator. So let's see how this goes. Fair warning.
You're good.
So
You're
yeah. So
far.
yeah. So things glitchy. Okay. Yeah, so I'm doing the geologic map of Los Angeles, Quadrangle, in Southern California, which is where 95 of us are. I think with except for a professor, and I think like 2 more people are somewhere else. So doesn't look recognizable, right? Yeah. This map was made for three basic purposes. So this was actually made for academia. So people learning about the LA area and geologic processes, engineering and environmental, which would be maybe someone creating a building and finding out what kind of foundation they're going to be doing. And for disaster relief and first responders, for example, every year we have fires here. Maybe they want to find out if they have high potential of landslides during the rainy season. California is a very geologically diverse. So when you first see this map, it looks very overwhelming. But we need all this information for all the groups that we mentioned above, the academics, the engineers, and the first responders. So the names of the geologic units, the color, the symbols are all standardized, but I feel as this is relatively easy to read. Let's see if I can zoom in. That being said, California is super complex, so everything is everywhere. See there. Okay, so for distance here, there are actually 4 methods to measure the distance plus the contour interval shown down here. So there's the lateral and the lateral and longitude lines, the cartographic scale, customary units, and SI units. So one problem that I see here is that the SI and the customary units that they go all the way to 7 instead of being nice round numbers like 10. But over here they end up doing for the long and latitude, they have it from 119 degrees to 118, and 34 to, I think it's 34 and a half. Yeah, 34 and a half. This map is often taken as raw data and put into an ArcGIS program, so different map makers can represent different data that they need. Another problem that I have with this map is that it's very difficult to read. So as you can see, there's all these pretty colors, but nothing here tells you what they are. And so what USGS does and a lot of government agencies do, I know that the Army Corps of Engineers and the Navy do this for different types of maps that they do, is that they separate all their stuff. So here's all the colors and what they symbolize. Where here's can I go that way? Nope. Okay. Well, here's more maps showing the general area in case you're not from the Los Angeles area, in case you're from China or India or somewhere where you're not familiar. And here is a lot of so this is the references that they use, and let's see, where am I? I'm in the bottom. So over here they also have what each symbol means, which so unless you have 3 screens or two pieces of paper at hand and the map mounted somewhere, it's kind of difficult to read. It'd be nice if it was just one piece of one large I guess one large piece of map. But like overall, I think that it's a very pretty map, but from how complex the area is and the map being very it's very difficult to read. Like another area that we were shown last time here in Malibu, right there. This area is like if you point to a spot, it might be a little difficult to tell what's going on. You got to like really zoom in. Yeah, and I don't know, any questions or I don't know, might have gone too fast.
No, you did a great job. You did a great job. First, let me chime in. Sorry, people, I just feel this. I want to say something. Great job, Brian. Great job. Number 1, guys, did you notice Brian first? His sentence is, this map is made for geologists, right? And people who are in this field. They will find this map very informative. But to himself, this map is daunting. And I want to add, same to Jing. Yes, because we are not in this field, right? And we don't know all this color, what does that mean? All these lines, oh my gosh, I feel dizzy when I read this map. But the key thing is, this map is not for us, Brian.
Yeah.
We actually we actually have geologists in our class. Faye, are you here?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Teach us.
So I was an earth science major before I switched to environmental studies. So I have a bunch of classes that I took that didn't really go towards my degree, but we would normally use maps like this when we were out in the field. And so all of the little red symbols, I think, are like the type of fault line, if it's like converging or diverging, or if it's strike slip. And then if you zoom in, you can see all of the topo lines. So like if you were out in the field, that was always really important, because if you were like on a peak, you would like look at your map and count how many like topo lines you were to like the next geologic feature. And so yeah, this to me looks like a very standard map that you would use out in the field to kind of like orient different geologic features.
Yeah, but one thing you also got to know about this, that a lot of this map is paved, so you can't really see what's going on when it's paved. So originally I think these guys for my work, like this version is from 2005, which Campbell, I think he's I forget if he's a geographer or a geologist, but he's over here out of Pasadena. But the one before this, it wasn't GIS compatible, and it was from like 1918 or something like that.
It's
So,
paper map. I still
yeah.
remember when I went to a field trip with another geologist. He actually was carrying a huge map, like twice time as tall as me myself.
Yeah.
So you have to, read it piece by piece. Okay. We have another geologist, and he is also an instructor in geology. Namanja, are you here? He teaches actually geology. Can you comment on this?
Let me unmute. Yeah, I work for LAUSD as a science teacher, occasionally substitute. Yeah, my major was geology. It's a tip, as you said, this is not for people they didn't study. It's very complicated. I haven't come across these maps in a couple of years, and I am just looking at it. I remember it's complicated. It's not easy. It's pretty much attempt to cluster so much data, at the map and use on the field, and now you can apply what we are learning. Now you have ArcGIS, you can layer this map, you can bring the data in a different format. So this is kind of outdated map, and it's slowly changing as technology is taking over, because you cluster a lot of data, you had to, in order to analyze some patterns or, whatever you're doing with that. But it requires a lot of background, a lot of training in order to read that map,
Thanks, Namanja. Exactly. Any other geologists? I don't know. I know Faye and Namanja. Do you want to comment on this?
I have a question to geologists who are here. I see. I'm not a geologist, but a question to a geologist.
Okay.
So in the background, I see a grid, which is gray. It looks like streets. Is it streets or is it something special?
Yeah, those are streets. So if let's see if the computer doesn't crash. So these orange lines are the topographic lines which measure elevation, and these kind of gray lines, those are the streets.
Mm.
So is it extra? Is it necessary here?
Good point.
Well, like a lot of engineers, like if they want to build a house or whatever, let's say this area right here, they gotta write a report saying, hey, this is that kind of rock or whatever that's in this area. So they gotta really zoom in and like, okay, this house is gonna be built on Q of 1, whatever that means.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
But I think here I just bring up that's such a good point. Well, you don't have to. I get your point. Maybe this for the residential area, right? But I don't think it's necessary to put on this level of details. The streets. You even include a very small streets over here. Maybe, I don't know. I feel the same, Ira. It's a little bit, the background is a little bit too complicated.
Yeah, I think you could shut them off. Like they have in the website where I downloaded it in USGS, they have they also have the raw data where you could download it and put it into like QGIS or ArcGIS.
So well, can I annotate it? So here yes, okay, here we go. Okay, then I don't have to retype. Is the format GeoTIFF? Is it GeoTIFF or PDF? Oh, it's a PDF. Well, both actually work in the same way. Now, USGS, they have this new type of PDF, They basically just like your ArcGIS, okay? You can actually put different layers. They organize the same theme. For example, that is your, the geologic setting, or that your background, your streets, or this one is your label, okay? And they order that in different, different layers. So Brian, if you open this map, with your PDF reader. On the, I think the top left corner, you will have, you know, 3 bars like hamburger, you know, you can expand it and you will see, you know, the outline, and then you will see different layers. You can turn that on and off.
I right now the only PDF reader I have is the web browser.
I think Adobe Reader is free.
Yeah, no, I just haven't installed it.
So guys, any other things you want to comment on?
What's the name of the map at the bottom? What does that mean? The
So
quadrangle.
Yeah, the preliminary geologic map of the Los Angeles. This is a 30-minute by 60-minute quadrangle of Southern California. Otherwise, that'll be really huge. It was 30 feet by 60 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can see here, that is your scale. You can see for this one, why they have to, you know, put a scale over here, guys. Can you guess?
But is quadrangle just the angle of that's what Southern California is? It's 30 by that's the location of the Southern California.
From my understanding, quadrangles are just like what is it? A generalized map, like it's from 1 degree to another degree of Earth space. So maybe 1 degree to 2 degrees by like 0 degrees to 0.5 degrees.
Am
I wrong?
Answer.
Am I wrong?
More or less, right. So
I think it's like a topo map by USGS. They always call them like quadrangles. I think, I'm not sure like what that means more than that, but like usually if it's like a map like this that has topography on it, they're called quadrangles.
So basically, let me draw my LA map again. Sorry. This is Malibu, for example. Okay. And then go there, right? You have a huge, you know, Southern California. They basically divide, because they have to use this very detailed scale. So you can see that is 1 to 100,000. So one map cannot cover everything. So they will basically break up into different, you know, chunk. And each chunk, it's 30 minutes wide and 60 minutes high, you know? And Brian, if you can, you know, pan your map to the left, you can read the longitude.
So 34 degrees and 0 minutes?
Yes, so well, that's your latitude. That is, go to the north. We go with this 119, then you go to the right, very right.
118.
Yeah, so you can see that is 118. So together that is 1 degree. That is 60 minutes wide. So 1 degree equals to
I see. Okay.
minute. Yes, and then if you go up, that must be 30 degree, 30 seconds, 30 minutes basically. If you go up,
34 and 30.
Yes, 34 and 30. So yeah, you can see here, 34 and 30. That is how large this chunk is. They call that quadrangle. They basically have an index map, you know, to show you which is which. They name it, for example, Topanga, for example, Malibu, for example, you know, LA, like that. Yes.
Right, here's your index map.
Yeah, you have your index map. And also they do, because they break it into different chunks, right? They don't have the legend on every chunk. So they will have a separate page just to show you, you know, what are the color mean, what are the pattern mean, and, you know, the label mean. They have, you know, many, I think 10, 20 pages or 30 pages to show you the legend, actually. And here, this one basically show you correct me if I'm wrong, Nemanja and Faye. This one show you the layers, you know, underground. So one on the other, on the top of the other, yes. So that is the layers. That's the, you know, cross section, the profile of your setting. Okay, wonderful. Great. Any other things you want to comment on? Or question for Brian? Yay. Okay, very good, actually. I'm so happy Brian bring us this map. This map is actually not just for show, right? Okay, let me mute Paula. She had some noise there. Okay, so this map is...
One more thing, do you need me to upload the other two things that I showed? The legend and the...
you can just send that to me and then I can, share with people.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'll mute myself.
Okay. All right, so several things. This one is not just for show, right? Like our geologists, they will actually use it in the field. So you can see cartography wise, right? As a cartographer, we actually don't like this map. We'll call this map cluttered, very busy, overwhelming, right? Okay, but it's for geologists. So whenever you make a map, your audience, know your audience is the #1 thing. It's definitely not for kids, right? You basically will scare them away, right? Okay, and then because your audience is an expert, you don't have to use, general cartographic requirement to design this map, including many things, guys, including how you place your legend, how you place your, scale, map elements, and including your font and labels, right? You don't need to use, for example, like Whimsy, that kind of style, or think about it, you use a, stitch, that pattern I just showed you from John Nelson's gallery, right? It's totally unnecessary. It's not for show. So know your audience is the #1 thing, okay? Well, if your audience can understand it, feel free to put so many information here. They're geology nerds, Okay, so Richard, are you ready?
Am I to go then?
Yes.
Okay.
The floor is
All
yours.
right. Yeah. Share the screen. Have we got the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this map, and am I on? Is the audio working okay?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a map from 1573, and it shows the empire of Prester John. In the Middle Ages, there was a myth in Europe that a certain Prester John, which meant priest John or a religious man, had gone to the Orient and founded a Christian kingdom. He had converted whoever had been there and had established an empire. And it started maybe around the 6th century was the first thoughts about him. And about the 1150, a note came. There was a letter, the famous letter from Prester John, where he described the empire, what it was like there, the strange people and wondrous things were there. And the letter was a forgery, and it was made up of various reports from travelers who'd gone there. But it was thought for a long time that he was in India or China. But when people went to China and India, he wasn't there. So by the time this was made, they thought, oh, maybe he's in Abyssinia. So we look, it's called, this is Prester John's Empire in Abyssinia. And if we look at some of the elements of the map, like this text box here, I'm going to call this a text box. And it's done as if it's done with fine metal work, right? It's really solid. They're not messing around with this text box. And look at how ornate this is. And around it is the banner is also fine metal work. It's solid. They're not kidding around. They're really telling you something. It has north, south, east, and west. And it's in Latin, which is, most things were in Latin in that day too. The vernacular hadn't been written as much. And this explains his history he's descended from King David and how he came to be here. So what various elements of the map. Maps at this time were made from other maps or maps ahead of it. So we're pretty accurate here with the Mediterranean and some of these places. I'll get into this later. As we come down here, it becomes less, we know less what we're talking about. This is the equator, they're right on the equator, but they don't really know what's in here. When we get down here, it says terra incognita is after this. But in fact, this is terra incognita for them, and they made it up. I don't know where Prester John is here. If we look, we can find his children are down here. Two of his children have been are held captive down here in the mountains someplace for some reason. I don't quite know where it is or why that was done. We don't know why it is, but there are little details. There are lots of nice little details in the map.
Wow.
There's a nice detail here. Here's a sailing ship, and it's firing a cannon. This is about 100 years after Columbus. It's the age of imperialistic exploration, otherwise known as war capitalism. And so that's what this time is. They also have some fish here that actually some of them look like Dr. Zeus fish, but it's kind of nice. And there's other details, like we have elephants here. And this is Barbaria. Barbaria is where the barbarians are. And this is an absurd note, but there's a character called Barbar the elephant, which you might have seen. And you wonder if it's not from Barbar the elephant. He didn't get it from some map that he was on. But anyway, the map has fairly nice details to it. We have where the suns are, we have the ship's cannon. Okay, is there anything wrong with this map? Well, you know, we could say, well, maybe there are too many fonts, right? He uses fonts just all over the place. Some of them are illegible, they're jammed up. And why do we have these extraneous things? Why do we have the fish? Why do we have this seal? It's a good question. And there's a question is, what is this map for? This map is a story map. This map is telling us not only that Prester John exists, but where Prester John is. It has a social purpose. It has a reason to exist, and that's to tell us something. It's to tell us a truth about the world. And so when Tufte talks about the ratio of line to data, and what he says is you only want as much ink as there is data. For instance, if the data is 1, you want the ink to be 1. And if the data is 1 and the ink is 250, like it is here, that's the bad thing. But is it a bad thing? Because what's data? What are we doing here? What are we trying to sell with here? We're trying to tell a story. We're trying to present a worldview. And I think it attains not just to this, but to making any map. A map is going to tell a narrative. It can tell a narrative. It's a very powerful narrative. It's also, they can be directive, enjoyable, and they can have fun. There's a final thing about this. It's not true. It's not true. Prester John didn't exist. He wasn't in Abyssinia. All these things here are not true. But maps have a power to tell us what the world is, and it has a power that can be used all the time. And I'm not gonna show it because it's too visually disruptive. There's a map of Trump showing where the hurricane was gonna hit, and he had drawn in it with a marker, and he could have drawn where Prester John was, because there was no reference to it. He made it up. So maps work because of the primacy of the visual to create a world for us that we live in. And it's kind of incredible and useful and not simple. I could go on, but that's enough.
So beautiful. To be honest, I don't understand any single word on this map, but I just love it so much.
Right. Do you want me to, this says it's Prester John, and it's all in Latin. And this is where it tells a story about King David. This explains where the sons are down here. This is the story about, you know, there are more, most of it I can't read either.
Do you know if there's any significance to where they put the elephants, or is it just kind of filling in the spaces where they're, because I'm assuming all the tiny little castle looking points are known settlements, or where like it was thought that there might be a kingdom or a settlement. But it's just interesting, there's no other animals on there. I was just kind of wondering if it was decorative, or if it's kind of coming from sort of, like it is in Latin and people were reading histories and stuff, and elephants were used in war, like Hannibal crossing the Alps. And so I didn't know if there was kind of a connection there.
Are you answering your own question?
I think I might be, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not how did the elements in the map work? They work to create a world, right? And it's not just flat. He's going to have pictures of fantastic beasts, elephants.
Yeah, it's almost like they're at the border of all of the settlements instead of, you know, just being any old random place on the map. But then again, it could also be somebody making an artistic decision, like we need balance, so let's put them over here because they're huge.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
what's sort of weird is all these places that they locate here. I mean, they're totally fictive. What inspired him to put all these little towns in here and little settlements?
But this is the Nile River, and I think the Nile River, maybe the shape is right. Yes.
What?
Okay. Yes, and maybe they think they have, you know, they think they're here a lot of time here, and I don't know. Okay.
It's kind of interesting too, like there are other maps that are like, this reminds me of the Mansa Musa map. It was about like an actual historical figure, I think, that was purported to be like the richest man in the world at the time, but he was in Mali or thereabouts. And like, that's not even pictured here. There's just a giant caption over it, just featuring the Prester John legend. So it's kind of would be an interesting juxtaposition.
Here is a question for you.
It's the map. It's not a map of a fake person. He was just what's real and what's fake. I mean, this is originally there were many maps of the Garden of Eden, and the Garden of Eden was in Asia Minor, and then it wasn't there, and it kept moving around. Then people said, "Oh, maybe it's a metaphor. Maybe it's in outer space." And it's the same thing. We only know what we know. It's sort of an epistemological question. What is this map of? It's a map of a myth. It's a map of somebody believed, because and partly it had to do with as Europe was discovering the rest of the world. There was the Islam was very powerful right in here, so the routes to the east were blocked, and also people in the east weren't Christian. So that a nice myth that helped people would think was, oh, this Prester John has a place here, so if we go out there, we're going to find a way station, we're going to find an ally, we're going to find something that can work with us as we go out into this world, as they learn more and more about the world.
It's such a beautiful map.
Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah, like Richard said, this one is for, you know, tell such amazing story. It can be, you know, like a book you want to read. So this one, think about our purpose, mapping purpose, is totally different from what Brian just shared with us, right? It's a map, but it's more like an artwork. You know, it's art telling your story. So that's why the author spent so much time on decorating this map. But personally, I don't feel this map is over decorated. It just make it so pretty. I don't think it's over decorated. So you can see how, you know, how considerate, or they think every single details. Okay, they think about every single details. The one caught my attention, the first, is those sea monsters. You can see. And also this one is a warship, right? This is a, you know, it's a
The
warship.
red one?
Yeah, here maybe, yes. And you can see the elephant. Maybe they show you some, you know, geography understanding about this area. They think that area we should have the elephant. But you can see how they design the elephant. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 elephants. They all look different, right? They even have different gesture. And you can think, you can see those 2 elephants, they are playing together, right?
The elephants are pleasant. The elephants seem to be fairly pleasant animals.
Right. You can see they're playing together. And those 2 maybe they just, you know, kind of like cool over there. And another detail you can see, even with those very small, you know, the area, like here, the Nile River, you can see they don't just put a polygon here. If you zoom into Nile River here, zoom in a little bit, Richard. Zoom in, closer. Richard, could you help me zoom in a little bit closer to this Nile River, this part?
Oh, the Nile, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
No.
No, it's fairly accurate, but after when they get down here, they don't know. They still hadn't found their source in the
Yes,
Nile.
that's the understanding, right? Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can see, can you do a little, yes, here we go. You can see, guys, how detailed here, this pattern, how, you know, how carefully they design this river. You can even see the flow line, you know, the river. They even decorate this polygon with this river pattern. Do you see that in the Nile River? Those little lines here that show you, oh, that's a floating water in there, you know? And here you can see next week we're going to, maybe the week after, we are going to learn the visual hierarchy. You know, you need to differentiate your full front, your map, and your background. So you can see, well, I bet John Nelson will get crazy about this map. You can see here, the pattern they decorated at the edge really show you, you know, you have this forefront, your map stand out, okay, in the front line. And then the background map, you can see it's, you know, stand out from that background and can totally, you know, get people's attention over here. So this, I will say, is an art. It's an art. It's not just a map. And I totally agree, those fonts, it's just so beautiful, okay? Typographers, they will get crazy about those fonts. They may want to, you know, create a new font based on this. Even your text box is also decorated, you know, like this. It's just like, you know, a storybook you really want to read into. Yes. Okay. And here, another thing, I think this one may be the Tropic of Capricorn, right? Tropic of Capricorn, yes. And this one is equator, I think.
That is the equator.
Yeah. I think they're accurate. I think they're pretty much accurate. And this is the Latin name for Red Sea. Maybe.
That's a Red Sea. Yeah, it's the Red Sea.
Yes.
Yeah, it's called the Red Sea.
Okay.
This is different. Sinus prefer is different.
Yeah.
But the Red Sea is the Red Sea.
It's the Red Sea, yes. The elephant, even they have the, you know, the shadow. They draw the shadow for the elephant. Can you imagine that? You know, many people, they just make a map in, you know, 1 minute. But this one, you can see how careful the design is. Yes. Yes. The map tells the story. And because your audience is different on this map, you have totally different mapping method that apply to everything on this map. You don't have a legend, right? You don't want to, you know, very, you know, insert a very ugly legend over here, because the picture, the icon tell the story already, you know, explain themselves already. You can see those towns, they don't have just have a dot. They give you a town. That means that's an urban area. Yes, that's amazing. Anything you want to add, people? I talk too much.
I was just asking, this is before we could do longitude, right? We could only do latitude at this point in history, right?
No, they have longitude lines there.
They have the longitude.
Yeah.
Or was that only at sea we couldn't do longitude at that time? I felt like that was something we couldn't do.
They could do longitude from Mercator on. They were pretty, they got it pretty early on when they started the maps.
I think they're pretty accurate, you know, in terms of location, the geography. I think I went to Kenya. Kenya is about here, you know, Nairobi, more or less, on the equator. Yes. Okay. But I don't know what the color mean. Maybe different territory. Okay.
The words on the border, are those the cardinal directions or is this something else?
East, west, north, and south.
Oh, they are? The septentrion.
Yeah. Orient, east,
Oh,
Occident, west.
that's cool.
Vice versa, yeah, that's right.
You mean this? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, north, south, east, and west.
I
It's cool
didn't
to do that.
That is so beautiful. I didn't notice that before. Thank you, Jessica. Wow. Richard, could you share this map with us?
Yeah, sure. Shall I send it to you?
Yeah, maybe later send that to me. I will make a folder for all our Kato Talk, the map, and I will share with you. And then you can always check back, you know, to get inspired.
I could put the link on it. Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. Okay, Marila, are you here? I didn't see her actually. I didn't see her in our class actually right now. Marila. Marila? Okay, maybe. Okay. All right. So, yes. Thank you guys. I enjoyed it. You got me drunk again. The beautiful maps, the two beautiful maps you shared with me. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, so today our main topic. Thank you. Good job. Okay. Well, today our main topic. Oh, here I do have a question here. Longitude. Okay.
We already talked about that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Picture. Oh, Paula, I know what you're talking about. This one. I think Paula is asking this. Maybe I can share. LA1. Okay. Just share the screen. Okay. All right. Paula, you're asking this, right? Annotate this one. Paula?
Yeah.
Yes. So that is your north arrow indicating the north, but it's not just one north. We also have magnetic north. Right? Okay, so here, let's clear it. Let's annotate, clear our drawings. So if you zoom in, where's my zoom in here? Oh.
Yeah, there's a third north, which I don't know what it is.
Okay, so here, the third north actually is easy, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, okay? So this GN means geography north. So that pointing to your North Pole. Follow the longitude line, okay? This MN is your magnetic north. that is pointing to the magnetic field, the north of the Earth. Okay, you have magnetic north and magnetic south. So you know why it's important, because when geologists, they do the field work, they're out there, you know, in the middle of nowhere, they need to get oriented, right? What they have is compass. Actually, it's a compass. So you need to know where is magnetic north, okay? Then you need to, you know, crack that to, you know, calibrate it, you know, recalculate it to find your geographic north.
So
and then you can get oriented, yes.
So what's the difference between geographic north and true north? Because isn't the star true north?
No, this star is your map north.
Oh.
Yes, this basically show you, okay, this straight up, but straight up is not always your north. So, you know, we can simply put a north on our map. The north arrow is just right there, right? But many times, guys, north arrow is totally wrong. You put it there. So you don't have to put your north arrow on every single map, actually, guys. But you know, for certain purpose, for example, the first lab, we map out, you know, Laos, the 3 countries, right? More or less, you know, we just, you know, generally just show people where's the north, where's the south. That's okay. That's totally okay. But if people really want to use your north to get, you know, oriented when they in the field, you really need to be careful, okay, to show them the difference between magnetic north and the geographic north. They actually have a website, you can look it up. Another thing is your magnetic north actually migrating. It's not fixed because that's from, you know, the outer core of our Earth. You know, we have a liquid outer core. Anyways, that's a physical geography and geology. Okay. Yes, that also help calculating the strike and dip, the faults, okay? And it's orientation of geologic feature, like the tilt and angle of the fault. Exactly. Okay, so thanks. Beautiful. I can use it for my physical geography class. Okay, so Dan have a question. Basically is how to, you know, apply the style you download from, you know, John Nelson's gallery, okay, on the website, on your map, sorry. So style, yes, this one. Okay. Okay, so you actually can download it, okay? You can download it and save it somewhere. Save 1, 2 actually here. So you go to your folder where you save it. Okay, so click on that. Oh, it's not there. So let me refresh. Where did I save it? You can import it actually. It's in the labeling. Okay, style. Why I don't see it? Okay, so styles. Okay, labs, labeling, let me refresh. Huh, weird. Okay, I should see that here. It's a style file. Okay, can I just drag and drop? Let's be bold. Nope. Well, I think we should, you know, import it right here. Let me maybe not import style. Let's add new one. Add style. Okay, let's go. Let's try one more time. Okay. Teaching, summer, labs, labeling. Yes, here we go. Sorry, it's not import, it's add style. Add style. So it's here. So right click on that, go to add style. Okay, and then you can go to, for example, I want that, you know, felt style, the stitch. Okay, so click OK, and then nothing happened, but you can, you know, expand your styles, and you can see this one is, right? So for example, you want to change the pattern, you know, of certain polygons. So for example, you want to change the pattern here. Let's see this light yellow color. So this part, let's change that. I think that should be residential, okay? So you can click on the symbology of your residential. See here, that's your imported style, okay? And then let's use, for example, land 4. Here we go, guys. That's my stage.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's so cool.
Thank you.
See how easy it is. Let's change the, you know, the forest, okay, to this, you know, green color. Okay, I think I also need to change the others. Okay, green, this one, green, this one, green. Okay, guys, now this is your Topanga. Let's do this. Now Jean really, you know, she looks like a professional cartographer, right? So guys, you can see how easy it is to apply those styles to your map, okay? All right, I don't see, sorry. Okay, okay, here we go. Isn't cool? Yes, so go ahead to, you know, explore those, the galleries, and then you can just, you know, grab it. Even the font, let me see whether I can get the font, okay? So you can see here, I label the, basically that residential, the small area, the roads. Let's grab their font. So labels, I can go, oh, here. Let's just, you know, use this example. Well, here you can see I label the local roads only, okay? So how to access your labeling? In your lab, you're going to play with it, okay? So you can right click on it, go to label properties, okay? Go to label properties. So here I need to turn off my annotation. Let's go here, roads, the lines, oh, features, sorry. Go here, let me turn on the label first, okay? And then I go to label properties. So here in ArcPro, there's 2 buttons you need to click, okay? First, if you want to turn on the label, you need to click on label. You know, this is the order, this is the, you know, the command, okay? Turn on the label for me, okay? And if you want to change the style, you basically change the style of your labels, right? Then you go to your property, okay? Labeling property over here, okay? There's another way, okay, to, you know, access your label property. It's on the top. Oh, happened. Okay, so you can see if you click on certain, you know, feature layer, annotate is here, annotate on the top, you will have your labeling, this tab activated, okay? You just need to go there to click on it, okay? There's a fast way. You have this ribbon, you can change many things, okay? So here, for example, you can, you know, grab a gallery, okay, from you. Do I have that one here? Maybe not, okay? But I can change that over here. Right click on that, go to labeling properties. So this is your labeling properties. So here I do have a class called residential. Okay, let's go to residential. Okay, and then, well, I can change the SQL later. Let me show you that later. But here I want to change the symbol for my label here. You see, okay. For example, this North Paseo Centenares, right? Okay. So here the symbol appearance. Okay, and then you can see I use Corbel. But let's see whether we have John Nelson's. Oh, here we go, guys. F, A, B, C, D, E, F. Felix Tilting. Okay, and you have this one. I think I downloaded on his website. Scott Felix Tilting. Okay, see, this one, stitch, this one, felt style. Okay, and then you can see they have different buttons, right? They have different buttons. They have different line style. Oh, they don't have the font style. Sorry, they don't have the font style. Just have the fill style. See how cool it is. Okay, and well, then, well, if that style also including the fonts, you can, you know, just import it over here, just apply it. Okay, but here is not. But here is the place you can change your font. You can see you also have an overview over here. Okay, overview over here. Okay, and you can, you know, change the, it's regular for this specific font. You just have regular. You don't have bold. They didn't design that. Okay, so you just can apply to regular. And here, that's your size. That's very simple. And here, text fill symbol. So basically that is the color. Let me make it larger. Okay, the color of your font. So you can see, you can change the color. Oh, you can change how you fill your color. So for example, you can change this way. Okay, you can see how this sort of like shadow or mirage, that kind of, you know, effect. Okay, and later you actually can change this pattern to, you know, have this gradient pattern in different direction by, you know, changing the, let's see, changing the color here. Let's see, I can go from, you know, the red to white. Can I change the, you know, position adjustment? No. Text case. Oh, rotation? No. Okay, maybe. Oh, here, sorry. Format polygon symbol. And then here, the color. Yes, here we go. You can, you know, flip it. You can flip it. Okay, you go to the layers. You go to flip it. These layers, guys, this is a very important thing. These layers is for that, you know, the fill pattern of your label. I know it's confusing. That is the fill pattern you see here. You can see from white to red. Okay, in your label, in those letters, that you know, the symbol, the pattern can also be organized in layers. Okay, and here you can change. It's not the layers you see here. It's the layer of those fonts, of those letters. Okay, you can also change the pattern. You can change the direction to, you know, rectangular, for example, like this. Okay, or circular. It's like, you know, spread out. Okay, you can also change that buffered. Okay, buffered, different thing. Okay, so if you could change that linear, you can also change the angle, for example. You can change that to, for example, 0. Let's rotate it. So you can see from the right to left, you know, white to red, right? Okay, and here you can change that to continuous. Okay, so that will be more gradual. Okay, when you change the color, okay, but if you choose the discrete, you can change how many steps, how many classes, how many breaks you can have. For example, I just have 2. Let me exaggerate it. So you can see just the CC, that is white, and this one is just the red. Okay, so that is how you change the interval. But I recommend you to always use continuous because that's more natural, more gradual, the, you know, the changing of the color. You can even build a rainbow here, guys. So let's see. Let's from the red to blue. Okay, see? More or less, right? Well, here, more color schemes, color scheme properties. Okay, here, let's build a rainbow. Okay, you can double click. You can add a color. Okay, somewhere here. Okay, somewhere here. You can add another color. Maybe somewhere here. Okay, let's say it's red, should be the first one. So you click on this one, rainbow. Okay, red. Let's go to red. The next one is orange, right? Let's go to orange. Right here, okay? And the third one should be yellow. Yellow. Here we go, guys. And we're getting there. And add another one, okay? This one is yellow. Let's add one green, right? Add this one. And blue is here, okay? And this one, let's change that to purple. Maybe this purple. You know, you can have a lot of fun here. Okay, so I think my point is you can design your own continuous color scheme by adding different color break. Okay, so for example, the first chunk you want it to change from red to orange. Okay, and you can change, you know, start color and you know, the stop color. Okay, so click OK, and you can see I have my rainbow. Okay, you can change the fill color of your label. Okay, and the output overprint. What does overprint mean? Okay. It's always show, I think. Let me study it. Not sure. But here, next one is clear all the drawings. Okay. Next one is this. Hover over here, you can see that is the structure. Like I said, everything is in layers. Okay, so for example here, I can add an effect on top of my label here. So you can add an effect that can be, so you can see, for example, you want to add a buffer, for example. Okay, and this buffer you can apply here like this. So you can see this global effect. Oh, this global effect is for entire symbol. Not sure, but you can add these layers. You can see that's under the buffer. So basically, for each buffer, they will have this, you know, the rainbow color field. Okay, and you can add another symbol layer. You can add a marker, for example, or fill. Let's add a fill. Okay, and then you can bring that back down to the bottom. Okay, and let's change it to, you know, hatch the fill like this, and then make it a little bit PC offset. Do you see that one? Okay, it's at the back. It's at the background. I want to make it wide, a little bit wide. This line width. Yeah, oh, here we go. Actually, it's like this. Okay, it's like this. Okay, and then you can organize your, you know, design your symbols in layers. So for example, in this lab, in our lab 3 for your QGIS, to, you know, design that line, just mimic what we have here. Okay, this tertiary, this road. Okay, let's save it. Okay, this tertiary, this road, I want to mimic this color, this pattern, you click on this, you know, the icon, go to properties, you can go to layers, and you can see this single line, you know, this single line you see here actually contains 2 layers. The one you see in the center is a little bit, you know, brighter. Let me make it wide, a little bit wide. Okay. Apply. Okay, so you can see that is 1 layer. Okay, and here you have another layer. Let's make it wide. Maybe 20. PT, sorry. Oh. Okay, it's getting there. See, if you want to have this outline, you need to make it wider. Okay, and you apply. See here, that is your new symbol here. So including your symbols, including your labels, actually in both ArcPro and QGIS, they organize in layers, guys, in layers, which means you actually can add your layers, okay, by clicking on this structure, okay? So here, for example, I want to add another symbol layer, like a marker, okay? You can change those dots. You can add dots on your line, okay? Or you can, you know, let's see, for this dot, you want to add, for example, a buffer. Let's see whether I can add a buffer. Yes, you can add a buffer here. How can I change the factor of this buffer? Okay, here we go. So here, color, you can say I wanted, you know, red, okay, or green.
Jing, sorry, can you please repeat, how did you make shape marker?
Oh, I add here. I first add here in the layers. You can see originally I have two layers. One is for this, you know, the center of this line right here, okay? And beneath that, I have another line over here, the orange, the dark orange one. I overlay them together, then I have this so like this style, like a tube or something.
No,
okay?
I mean the shape symbol. It is fill, and you had a different one. You deleted.
Oh, that's a different one. So here, let's see. You add a symbol layer. Add a symbol layer marker. It's a marker.
Thank you. I couldn't find it for so long.
It's on the structure. So here, if you're in the layers, you just see the layers in your structure you created already. Okay, yeah. But in the layers, you can change the properties of different layers. Does that make sense? So basically, every single, you know, the font style, they are all organized. Those graphics, basically, they're in layers. So dots is one layer. The, you know, the light orange color is another layer, and the bottom layer is the dark orange color. You can also, you know, change the order of these. So you can see I hide it behind this orange is back. So like this. Okay, you can change the order here. It's just like you change the order in your, you know, the content box. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I just tried to make polka dot and I couldn't find the dot, but now I see. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you want to change the property of the dots, you have to go back to the layers. So I will say this structure is like your catalog, help you organize all the layers. But here, the layers is for you to change the property. It's just like here in your content pane, you have different, you know, data layers here. Okay, and then you can see when you're in the layers, you go here, you can change the form. For example, I want to have this, you know, bars instead of, you know, the the circles. I can do this way. I want to change, you know, I want to use a dashed line. Okay, that's a dashed, right? Okay, and then I want to change the color to, for example, blue. Okay, you can change that to blue. Okay, or green, yellow, like this. Okay, let me change that to another color, maybe purple. Yes. Okay, and here, let's see, you can also change the font. It's not actually not font. For example, let's use this crazy one. Or do I have? Let's do this cross. Okay, so you can see you can also change your, you know, like a cross. Okay, so guys, I think my point here is you want to know how ArcGIS organize your symbols. Okay, organize your symbols and the font. They organize that into layers. If you want to, you know, decorate your symbols, you want to have more layers. And then how to change the properties of each layer, you have to go to the layers. So that's why they call them layers. Questions? Okay, so let's apply this.
Jing?
Yes?
The same kind of concept goes for the labels too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like not so much layers, but just like like different fonts.
Exactly. Same thing. Same thing. So you go to the, you know, for example, the labels, right? Okay, let's go to the labels, label property. Okay, and then this is for different class. So let's change that to residential class. Okay, and then here is your symbol. If you click on this symbol, guys, this actually exactly the same thing as your, you know, the symbol you want to use for your, you know, the roads. Okay, it's not it's actually not the residential, it's class 1. It's the main road. So go to the symbol, appearance, okay, and then you can go here, the font name. Let's see, fill symbol, okay, color. Let's see, format polygon symbol, okay, format polygon symbol. You click here, you will go to the, you know, the symbol here, guys, with me, okay? So you go here, appearance, right? You want to change how your label look like. It's just like the pattern you fill for those polygons, right? Okay, so you can go here to text fill symbol. Go here, format polygon symbol. That is how you fill your letter for your font, okay, for your labels. And then you can see here, you have your layers, you have your properties, you have a structure. So for example, here I just have one structure. It's you know, the dark, okay? And then you can add more. You can add, for example, another fill color on the top. Let's make it, you know, change that property, solid fill. Let's see, do hatched, okay? And then let's do a little bit darker, but I wanted a red one, okay? And then you can see, if I zoom in, my symbol will be like this. My label will be like this, okay? And then you can hit apply, and you can see my plus this, the drive will change the font, right? Appearance, let me make it larger. Apply. Yes, you can see, you can change the pattern. So I use that fill pattern for my label. Okay, so the same thing apply in QGIS as well. Okay, so later let me show you where it is. So here we do have 2 questions. One is, can we only use these symbology settings in ArcMap, or is compatible with QGIS too? You can export it and import it to your QGIS, And well, in our lab, I did it in a very, you know, time-consuming way, because I want you to, you know, explore how you change those settings. Okay, so let me show you after I address all these questions, how you can apply ArcPro, the style, and then go to your QGIS. Okay, so here, thanks for asking that. I couldn't get to the layers label class properties until she demonstrated.
Yes. Yeah, it wasn't a question. It was just me saying thanks, because I was struggling with like trying to get to the same, the layers on the label class, just because I wasn't clicking on the right thing.
Great, I helped. You made my day. Yes, save the font you like it. Yes. So Paula asked me, is there any way we can save the font you like it, and so you could use that in another project? Exactly. You can save that, you know, for example, from certain website as a, you know, style file, and then same way you can just import it to your ArcPro or QGIS. Okay, so then there's another way you can, you know, just grab the pattern. You see John Nelson, his pattern, you know, you like it, and how we can grab it, right, to use that in QGIS. Let me show you guys. So for example, here, you really like this green, right? And you can see if you click on this little icon, okay, this green pattern, you can just, you know, directly bring that up, okay? So you can see here, directly go to the layers, and you can see John actually have many layers here. This actually how he designed this, you know, the symbol, okay? How he got this, you know, picture fill. You can see it's a picture fill for this, you know, sort of like a laser or something, that kind of view. Well, he basically took a picture of a laser, Photoshop it, go here. You know, it's a picture view, and then he overlay them together. Okay, so you can do the same way. You can do the same way. So for example, here, let's see, can we download this picture? For this very complicated one, probably you cannot use that, but I believe QGIS can also import the style file. Okay, but for example, here in the general gallery, so for example, let's go here, residential. Okay, so for this residential, let's go to the gallery here, symbology. Okay, and then you can go to the symbology, road features, unique color, go here, residential, right? Okay, we grab this one from our gallery, from, for example, this minor road. Okay, you click there. Okay, then how you can apply the same thing, you create the same effect in QGIS. Well, you go to properties. Okay, you can see we have 2 layers, right? Okay, you click on each one, that is your color. So you can see here, the top one is a white color. You click on here, go to color properties, and you can just copy this hex, the code, to, you know, and apply it in your QGIS. Okay, let me show you, how about that? So also I can demonstrate you how to, you know, create layers in QGIS. Okay, so let's go to QGIS. Okay, this is the folder, and oh, here's. Come on, Pi. I know you're slow. Okay, so this is QGIS, right? Okay, you want to add the layers. Okay, here you add your layer. Here's another thing I want to show you today, actually, how to grab the layers from website, from OpenStreetMap. So we add a vector data and from file, or we can add from geodatabase, and you can change that to, you know, Esri personal geodatabase. And then, let's see, new, Esri, name, Topanga. Okay. Looks like I cannot hear. Do I have a connection to my local field or directory? Let's see. Nope. Okay, anyways, let me test it out. Okay, so let's add files. Go to vector, then you go to lab 3, you go to, not lab 3, labeling. Okay, and then we go to Topanga. That is the layer I downloaded from OpenStreetMap. Okay, and then you can see I have my roads line. Okay, right here, let's click on that. Okay, and then let's go to add. Okay, here we go. This is your, okay, we go here maybe. Okay, this is your road, right? And you want to create exactly the same. Plugin is disabled. Okay, let me clean this one. Ignore that. Okay, so okay, so this is all the roads in Topanga, that area. Okay, and I want to apply the same symbolization and label as you see in ArcPr. Okay, so here, how to do that? In QGIS, if you want to change the style, not change the style, change the fonts, change the color, the symbol, you need to go to the property. Okay, go to properties. And here, the property of this layer, you have your symbology. Okay, oh, to make it small, a little bit, you know, like this. Let me resize my window. Okay, and then here you can see, well, same thing, right? Same thing. You have your symbol line. Symbol line is in layers. And here, guys, you have your little plus sign here. You can add layers. Okay, you can add layers for this line symbol. Okay, so let's click on that. Okay, add another layer. Okay, so you can see now it looks similar, right? Okay, let's go to the ArcPro. Let's grab it. Okay, so you can see the top one is this color. Copy. Okay, then let's go to QGIS. This one is not. This one is. Okay, the top one. My color is a symbol line, right? So you go to color, choose a color, and you can see here, you can just paste it here. Okay, HTML notation in QGIS means the hex code of your color. Okay, here. So let's copy, let's paste it. Okay, and then click over. Yes.
So I don't know what hex code is, but it's like what I'm understanding that it's not like software specific, like it translates the code can go between the two types of mapping software.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. That's just the, you know, you can think about it's like ID for every single color. You can use that to differentiate different single color. But hex means 16 based. You know, we have 10 based. We have 2 based ASCII code, hex code. That's the 16 based. That's some computer, you know, nitty gritty about, you know, computer science. Okay,
Hex,
but you can apply. Yep. What's that?
Hex is 16?
Yeah.
Or
16.
hex is, okay.
16. Yes. 16. Yes. So symbol line, right? And here I believe the stroke width is let's see. Cancel that. Is 2 point, right? Let's go 2 point. Here, you change that 2 points. 2. Okay, so you can see it's like this. Okay, 2 points. Okay, and the bottom line, let's see. Okay, for this color, wow, it's a really beautiful color. Okay, and then you can just copy it and then change the color here. Choose color. Okay, paste it. Click OK. Okay, and then let's change the width. Cancel 3.5. Okay, just like this. Oh, points, sorry. Points. Okay, so that is, and click OK. Okay, so you can see I basically create the same thing as you see in ArcGIS, Okay, so this is how you manually copy and paste. But you can see the two software, they organize their symbols in the same way, Okay, so then how about labels? Labels, the same thing. Let's go to single labels. Okay, and here you can apply different font. Let's do name, okay, and different text. Okay, so for example, here, I think it's Constitution or something. Let's see. Let's go to the labels. Oh, sorry. Go to label properties. Oh, Corbel, sorry. Corbel. And then you can see, and then for that Corbel, we do have a buffer, right? For our residential. Label properties. Yeah, we do have a buffer right here. We do have a buffer right here. So let's take a look at it. So let's go here, label properties. Okay, make sure you are in a class 1, okay? And then you can see your symbol. And here, this is your, let's see, your format polygon symbol. And you can see here, we do, oh, it's not the field, sorry. It should be the halo, sorry, it's a halo behind it, right? So halo symbol is a white symbol, I think. Yes, it's all, you know, F, okay? That's your halo symbol, and the size is 1 point, okay? So let's recreate it. Okay, so go to your, right click on that, go to properties, okay? And then here, for this one in QGIS, there's no halo setting. Maybe I didn't, I don't know. Let me know if you found it. But I found the buffer can give you the same effect. So you click on the draw buffer, okay? And then you go to, this one is pixel, not pixels, points. Points. Let's make it a little bit, you know, more, okay? And the color is all F, okay? And then here, let's go to the text, make it bold. So you can see. Let's change the buffer color to another one so you can see. Let's change that to red. Okay, so you can see that can create a, you know, the same, sort of the same thing. Okay, click OK, and then you can see, you can change the font over here. Okay, let me test. I don't know. I see there's a style we can do. Let's add a style. New style. Okay. Okay, and styles. Symbology, copy style, new style, added style, okay, and then here, let's see, can I add a style? Advanced, clip, okay, I do have a pattern circles, this looks cool, okay, here, style manager, yes, guys, I'm also learning. Okay, import and export, we found it. Okay, and then import items, file, okay, file, so exciting. Okay, let's go to our, let's go to our teaching, let's go to our summer labs, labeling, oh no. Oh, here guys, that is the thing. For this style, it has to be an XML file. You cannot just import it, import the style, you download it from your ArcPro, the gallery, sorry. But I believe you can convert it as an XML file, okay? So because, let's open it. So you can see it's a very weird, you know, the name, but I think it's just a text file. Okay, let's open it. Let's open it with Notepad++, or actually you can open, let me open that with this one. It's opening, oh no, sorry, it's not opening. Okay, no, okay, let's see, let's try another way. Let's open it, open with more apps, Notepad, cross fingers. Meanwhile, let me search, okay, convert style X to XML. Okay, here we go, converting Esri style to XML file. Faye, not just you got this question. actually, you know, QGIS, this community, they're thirsty, they're hungry for the beautiful patterns in ArcPro, right? So let me share this link with you guys. So much fun. Okay, here we go. This is how you do that. Okay, converting Esri style to QGIS XML file using this specific tool, I think. Okay, you can see in GitHub, that's the open source community, actually. Yes. Okay, so then that also answer people. Sorry, I just sent that to Paula. Here we go. Here we go. OpenGISLab.com blog. Okay, that's just last year. So that's also answer Paula's question. Can you, import the, font, okay, from Esri to QGIS? Yes, you can. Because, QGIS is open source, right? People always try to find other resources to enrich this software. So here we go. Okay, so that is QGIS, okay? Okay, so when we convert it, you can load it, okay? Let me play with it later. Okay, so this is your style manager, okay? How I get accessed it. So for example, here you have your symbol selector, and here you have a little icon called style manager. Style manager. I think you also can access that here on the top, guys. You can see it's kind of small right here. Right here, style manager. Okay, and then you can click on that. Yes, that's your style manager. Okay, you can also, manage your label, text, different color ramp. You can add more, import and export. Okay, cool. Thank you guys. I didn't know this. I learned something new. Yay. Okay, so you can see in ArcGIS, I label the things, the different features in different way, right? Label the features in different way. So for example, this main road is labeled with this, and our local road is labeled like this. How can we differentiate? Well, in ArcGIS, you go to label properties. Okay, you can create a class here. Okay, how can I create the class? Well, it's here on the top, labeling, this tab. You can go here, let me clear it, clear all the drawings. Here, you have your class, and then you can create your label class. Okay, you can create your label class. So here, for example, I create another label class. Let me first delete it. Okay, let me first, can we delete it? Let's see, label feature in this class. Oh, let's just create a one, okay? And name it, for example, other roads. Okay. Roads, and then here, you can see those other roads, they basically include everything. If I zoom out, they label everything. See here, I have a different copy. The rows, let me change the font, guys. Change the size. So that, yes, so you can see it's quite overwhelming now. Yes, okay, here we go. Okay, so you can see those single drive, they also show up, right? Okay, and then I want to just, label, for example, it's coming out, right? I just want to label those, the fire road, for example. This is the Trailer Canyon, the fire road. This one is the same thing, and you have other, trail. I just want to label this layer, okay? And I studied the attribute table of this road layer. This actually called path, if I remember that right, okay? So let's do that. How to do that? You have this new class. You need to filter it, right? Filter this type of a road out. So that is where we need to use SQL. So you click on this button. You go to the class, right? make sure this one is checked, okay? And then you can add a new expression, okay? And here, you need to study your attribute table, okay? So I studied that is in a field called highway. I don't know why they name it as highway, but it's happened to be here, okay? And then you can say equal to, or if you want to label multiple type of lines, you can choose includes values, okay? So for example, includes values, let's go pass. This basically is a list of all the unique values in this field, in this column, okay? And then you can choose path. I think also track, okay? Those two types that corresponds with all these, you know, the trails, okay? Or fire road, okay? So let's go there, and then you hit apply. Okay, so you can see, let me close this. You can see other layers, those crazy font, crazy label, they gone, right? They disappear, only for those roads, only for those roads. Okay, so that's your SQL. Well, you probably say, Jane, I want this effect. You can see last time we learned that, okay, well, I need to place my linear, label my linear feature, follow the linear shape, right? You cannot just, you know, let your label stick out like this. It's ugly. Okay, how to do that? Well, let's do that. Let me show you. Right click on that, go to your label properties, or you can go here on the top, label placement. Okay, so for example, I just choose this one, the basic line. Okay, you can see now it's follow my line. Okay, you can choose European streets. Okay, that will place your label on top of your line. That's different style. Okay, you expand it, that's, you have different thing. For this water line, it's really, really, really interesting. Clear the drawings. Come on. Water line. It's sinking. I can tell it's sinking. Well, why? Sometimes, especially you want to label a lot of features that could take a long time. Why? Here is a technical background. When they place those labels, you can see, you just click on that, right? But background, I hear my computer here. That is, you know, they have this label engine called MapLex, M-A-P-L-E-X, label engine. Okay, they basically automatically, you know, organize everything for you. Okay, so that is basically is how they, you know, so smart to help you place those labels. Okay, but anyways, here you can also change many other things. Okay, for example, priority. Where does this priority go? Well, let me go here to my the mountains. Okay, let me label the mountains. Where is here? Let me zoom out a little bit. Yes, okay, so let's label it. Okay, so you can see here now, oh, here we go. Okay, so you can see my mountain, this peak, okay, it's labeled, okay. You can see I can label my, you know, the point layer at different location. Let me change the font a little bit, make it larger. Okay, change another color. Come on. Yeah, I'm in this. Okay, here we go. Okay, so it's quite slow now. So here you have this label for this little mountain. Okay, you can change your location. For example, I want to place that on the other side. Okay, or I want to put it centered. You can see center basically will put on the top of this point. Okay, you can see here. But you can see, well, here I have my trail, right? That is a high point trail. I don't want this label to cover my trail. My trail is important. Let me change the width of this trail. Okay, apply. Okay, it's crazy. Jing, don't be that crazy. Okay, let's change that too. Okay, make it a little bit thinner. Fine. Okay, so I don't want this label to cover my road. You actually can change the priority or the weights of this layer. Then that can try to avoid this overlapping. Okay, so you can see here, if you go to this, more weights right here. Okay, and then you can go to your trails and fire roads, this layer. Okay, you can see the feature weight, it's 100. Why my peak can go that far? Because they have the same weight, right? Can overlap it. So here, let's change that to, for example, 1000. And you hit, apply. Okay. Yeah, so you can see, because my roads have higher value, well, because I have to, cover it, right, centered as my peak. So I cannot put my label here, so that label actually disappear right here. Okay, and then, for example, if I change that back, or I can change the, how you want to cancel this, how you want to label this layer, actually, this one. Okay, for example, I change that to basic offset. See, same weight, I change how to place it. Well, this basic offset, I don't have to, be on to the left. I can also place it this way, right? But if I put this label, right here, you can see. Let me clean this one. Okay, if you move your gold peak, this label, to this part, to the upper right corner, it will cover your trail, right? We don't want to do that way. So that's why here you change the weights of your layers. So you can see my feature, now the roads, the trails have a very high weight. So means this is important, don't cover me. Okay, and then you can try to avoid those, we call that labeling conflicts. Okay, yes, so that is the thing. Okay, I see it's almost 8, but I do want to show you 2 more things. Guys, if you can stay a little bit late, like 15 minutes, okay, I can finish it, okay? So that is the weights you want to, check it out. Last time, I think it's Hunter or Nemanja, they asked me, can you, rotate certain, I just want to change this one single peak, the label. Can you do that? Yes, you can. Okay, so that is the thing you need to do in ArcPro, is to convert the labels to annotation. Okay, annotation is different from your labels because your labels is directly related to your feature. Okay, if you want to change, if you change your label, you change the label for the entire layer. You cannot customize individual labels. Okay, so here, let me clear my drawings. If you want to, add it certain label, you need to convert it to annotation. So first, you need to go to the analysis, okay? And then click on tools. And then here, you need to search a tool called convert label to annotation, this one. That is in your cartography tools, this tool set, okay? So launch that tool. Okay, and then you can convert your label in this entire map. Okay, just pointing to a map. Okay, and then you can choose all the layers in the map or just the specific single layer. Okay, but here I choose one single layer because here it is. Here's my reason. Okay, so choose the feature layer. I need to choose these roads. Okay, why? Because you can see. Okay, oh, here we go. Later, you have this requirement. Okay, so because in the annotation, even I want to, edit individual annotation, I still want it to be associated, clear associated with my features. So I want to create this feature linked annotation. So you need to check this box. Okay, but this box, if you want to, keep the annotation related to your feature itself, this layer need to be in a geodatabase. You cannot do that in a shapefile. That's the thing. Okay, so I recommend at the very beginning when you download, for example, shapefile, anything, you want to, import it into your geodatabase. Okay, how to do that? You need to go to your catalog. Come here. Okay, and then you go to your geodatabase. You can right click on that, go to import feature class. Okay, import feature class. And then you can go to your, your folder, or if you have the layer listed here, you can just, click on that to import it into your geodatabase. Okay, yes. Okay, let's see, go here. Okay, yes, okay, that's the font. Same face family. Okay, I can address Paula's question later. Okay, so yeah, so here, workflow. First, when you download the layers, make sure it's in your geodatabase. Okay, you go to the catalog, right click on that, go to import feature class. That's number one step you need to do. Number two is to unify the coordinate system. Okay, well, because sometimes if you apply certain threshold, so for example, you don't want to label a small thing, we call that, the overrun or the minimum size for that feature, you want to label, you will calculate the distance, right? You need the right coordinate system. You need a, 2D coordinate system. So when you import it into your geodatabase, also you need to use another tool called project. Okay, this is not a project we created here. It's a verb. Okay, you basically want to change the coordinate system of your layer. Okay, so double click on that. Okay, you can go to, for example, I want to change this, the points. Okay, and then you can name it. You can see it's in your geodatabase already. Okay, so here, for example, peaks. Okay, and output coordinate system. You can choose your current map because this map, I set it as state plan already, but you can also click on this globe to launch your coordinate system, the picker. Okay, and then here, for example, I want to use state plan. You just, search for state plan. Okay, and then you can see for state plan, each different state will have different plan. Okay. And then for California, for Southern California, we are this. Okay, state plan, you use this ellipsoid or datum. Okay, and then our FIPS code is 405. It's same thing like our freeway. Okay, 405 is your friend. We hate it, right? Okay, and then click OK. You will use that one. This one will automatically pop in. You don't have to worry. This because your original data have a different datum from your target datum. So ArcGIS is smart enough to pick one to convert this datum for you. Okay, and then you can just hit run. okay? And then you will have it in your I want to make it wider, okay, in your geodatabase, okay? So this is your picks, And you can see it's also automatically add to your map. So use this one, don't use your points, just, you know, let's turn that off, okay? Let's turn that off. So that's the thing, that's the, you know, lesson learned here. Otherwise, sometimes it can crash your software and many other issues down there, okay? And then when you go there, you click on the peaks. Looks like it's still labeled, okay? And then you can change your properties, okay, of your labels, okay? And here, let's convert this one to annotation because I want to change this one. So here, analysis, processing, okay, I want to convert labels to annotation, and I want to use this map. I just want to convert single layer, and I want to convert this peaks, okay? And here is the thing, guys. Here is the conversion scale. So at which scale you want to do this, you know, conversion? Because in ArcGIS, it's smart enough, you know, when you zoom out, they actually can change the font size of your annotation. I'm sorry, of your label, of your label. So you actually want to, you know, make it at certain level, at which level you want to convert that font. Okay. So for example, you can change that to, you know, this one is 6,000. Okay. Let's go to maybe 7,000. Sorry. We go to say 5,000. Let's change this one to 7,000. Okay, and here you can see your annotation have to be in geodatabase. Okay, same geodatabase as your peaks. So you click on this one, you go to databases, Topanga, okay, and then you click OK. Okay, and then you can, you know, create, if you convert, you know, many layers, this will be your suffix. Okay, and you can rename your group layer. And let's check this one, check this box. Okay, and default extent will be the entire map basically. So you hit run. Okay, so I have a warning, I think because I have the same name for another layer, okay, but it doesn't matter. So you can see here, in your annotation here, the first one, contents. Ooh. Let's go to contents. Okay, so you can see I have this group annotation, okay? That's just for my peaks, right? I want you to treat this one like a layer, like your data layer down here, because you can actually open, let's see, oh, I need to click on this one. Open the attribute table of your label, of your annotation. So you can go here, open the peaks annotation. You can see I have 3 points and I have different columns. That's the field, right? So you can see I have my font name, I have font style, I have font size, right? Okay, underline, yes or no, many other columns that's specifically for your label. Actually, guys, you can change that. You can, since it's a feature, it's a layer, right? We can add it, okay? So let me go here. You can click on the top, there's an edit. Let me draw right here, okay? You can edit it. So you can click on this one, edit, okay? And then you can see here's the power. So for example, I can change the font. This one is gold pink, okay? I can change the font, 72. Make it even larger, okay? See here, you can change that, but you can see for the other peak, the Park Mesa, it's not. Let me close this one. Okay, another one. Let's see. My table. Let's hover over here. Where's that one? Okay, here we go. Peak mesa is here. It's so small, right? But you can see the gold peak, they have different size. Okay, that is the power of your annotation. You can open the attribute table, right? You can change, let me make it a little bit smaller. Okay, you can change the size for individual one. Okay, or guys, you can move it because we're in the editing motion. Okay, so you can go here. Okay, go to the edit. You can see you have this tool called annotation. Okay, you can click on this one. Oh, there's a create new one, sorry. No, I don't want to create. Come on. No, okay. No, I don't want to create it. Okay, so here you can, let's see, move it. No, I need to, let's see. Annotation, alignment. Let's see. Should be move. Move. Annotation. No, I want to go back. I want to select it. Sorry, let's go here. Oh, nope. Added it. Oh, select here. Okay, click on this one. You can select this, the gold peak, this one. Okay, and then you can just right click on that, go to rotate. Okay, you can go to rotate. Okay, and then you can, let's see. Okay, so you can see you can rotate it. Okay, you can change that. I see many of you, your head looks like this. Okay. Yes, you can change individual, the peak. You can also scale. Okay, make it larger or smaller like this. Okay, but it's just for this one. Okay, I guess my point is, if you want to change any single, the labels for certain thing, you will need to convert it to the annotation. Okay, so click on this. No, I don't want to. Okay, here we go. If you double click, guys, no, I want to select this one. Okay, I want to move. Nope. Select, double click. I want to split it. Don't know why. Oh, well, I think it should be like this, guys. You double click it, it will be like a text box. You can add it. Okay, you can add it, and then they actually have two text box for this one. One is for gold peak, the other one is for high point. Okay, and then you can, ungroup it or group it, and then you can, let's see, clear. You can change individual the text right here. Okay, so let's see, edit vertex. Nope, I cannot change that way. Okay, anyways, that is the point. If you want to add it certain label, just one label, you need to change it to the annotation. But guys, don't forget to save. To save your edits, you need to go to the edit and here, hit save. Okay, it's a different from here. This one you save your entire project. You go to edit to choose the save, this button. Okay, all right, so really quick, let me address the question. Oh, Jessica asking, what's the difference between label and annotation? Labels, they just associate with your layer, okay? Your data layer. Annotation is kind of like separated. It's another layer on top of your feature layer. So you can see, Jessica and everyone, I converted to an annotation layer. It's still linked, but it's not embedded into my layer feature. Do you know what I mean? This basically is, for example, jeans shirt, okay? Jeans shirt. Now it's a feature, it's a label, right? Because it's on jean. So if you want to change the property, you need to find jean. If you want to change the labels of your feature layer, you need to find that feature layer. Okay, you need to access that window through your feature layer. But if I, have another shirt, okay, I took it off, right? Not a good metaphor, but I took it off and then I hang it over there. Okay, it's separate from me. You don't have to find jean to change the shirt. Does that make sense? Yeah, so you can see your annotation actually is a separate layer here. It's separate from your original layer right here. Okay, so that's the difference. That's the difference. Okay, I see another question. Let's see. Yes. Okay. Very cool. Yes. Dan said, "Is this Pampanga one of the labs or something?" Yeah, it's not. I just have some fun. Want to demonstrate. Yes. But one last thing, guys, I want to show you. Okay. In QGIS, you actually don't have to do this many things. That's a good thing. I like QGIS. So you can see in QGIS, there's a button. It's just for labels. Okay, so let's see this one. You can just choose this button. You can just add your labels. So for example, I want to change to food. Okay, click OK. Let's just apply. I don't know. Okay. And you can change your labels individually, actually. And then let's see. I think you can rotate somewhere. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see. This is highlight, this toggle, pin, unpin. This one is hide. This one's move a label. Okay, let's move it so you can see. You can just move it. You can do whatever you want. Okay, and here you can rotate, I think. Yes, this one is rotation. Okay, you can just drag. Okay, you can drag your labels like this. Okay, you don't have to, convert it to annotation. Okay, so this is one thing. Okay, and here, guys, sorry, really quickly, I want to throw you too many things today. OpenStreetMap, there's another treasure box I want to share with you. Okay, so let me copy it. Okay, so maybe many of you will have this problem. Jane, I just want to map out my neighborhood. For example, I know Ira have this project. She wants to map out her neighborhood, okay? But where I can find the streets and the roads, right? Here is the place you can go. It's free. It's open source, okay? So you go there and, oh, this is China. Sorry. And you can search for, or you can pan, so Los Angeles. Where? US. Okay, here we go. Okay, so for example, you want to download Malibu, this area, okay, to make a separate map for our Sand Dune or something, okay, Point Dune for this one, okay. You want to download all these very detailed, residential buildings and roads and many other things, right? So for example, this is our extent, okay. Here, you can just go to export, guys, export. And then you can manually select a different area, okay. You can move it, you can resize it. Okay, you can resize it. Okay, and then when you're done, you just export it. Okay, you just export it, and then you can see it's an OSM file. Okay, so let's just save it. OpenStreetMap, basically. Okay, point doom. Let's yeah, labeling, and then this one you cannot directly import it to QGIS. I think you can import it to QGIS, but not ArcGIS. Well, for example, you want to, you know, import individual layers, right? Okay, so you need to search for another tool called OSM to shapefile. Okay, and then here you can have your converter. Okay, and you just upload it, they will convert it for you. Okay, it will be a zip file. Okay, you can, no thanks, you can just upload it. Okay, add files, point doom, open. Okay, and then you can just continue. Okay, and then that's your shapefile. Okay, and then you can just convert now. Oh, I ran out of my credit, but for a certain amount of data, it's free. It's free. Okay, you can search for other tools. You can search for other tools that can, you know, many online, you know, free software, you can convert it. Okay, and then when you're there, you go to your ArcGIS. You can just add it as normally you would add your data. Okay, so you can see here, I do have another one for Malibu Lagoon. Oh, I just have Topanga, but it's here. Okay, so you can see I have a, let's see where it is. Yeah, this is Malibu OSM. Oh, I didn't convert it basically, but this is Topanga. I downloaded and then convert it to a folder, and then you can see you have all the shape files you can use. Okay, so import it and then, you know, put it, import it to your geodatabase. Okay, apply certain, you know, coordinate system. Okay, and then you can go from there for your project. Okay, I want to share this one with you because next week we will kick off our project mapping challenge. Okay, so that one you probably need this, you know, the streets and other things for your own project. Okay, but data is for you. Data is for you. Okay, so this is the one way I want to share with you. Okay, all right, I'm so sorry we ran so long. Okay, so I hope you had a great weekend and I hope you learned something today. Okay, and here, let me stop sharing. Okay, pretty cool. First, many thanks to Brian and Richard. Such an amazing map. Okay, I love them. And today we basically focus on the practical thing in QGIS and the ArcGIS, the labeling. I think the highlight is number one, you can import the style, right? You can import the style from people, cartographers, John Nelson, right, into your ArcPro directly, or you can convert it to XML file, okay, and import it to your QGIS. Okay. Another thing I want to highlight is in both software, your symbols, your labels, they organize in layers. Okay, don't confuse that with your data layer. That is a symbol for your design. You know, you have this forefront, you have your background, that is a different layer. Okay, then in ArcPro, you need to go to the structure to define how many layers you have, and then go back to layers to change the property. I know, it's confusing, I know. And then in QGIS, you just need to go to that symbology manager, or right click on that, go to property, go to the symbology tag. Okay, and then you can add that, you know, click on that green plus button and you can add different layers. Okay, and including your symbols, the labels, the same thing. Another thing is for annotation. Remember in ArcGIS, we have the top ribbon. You can customize your labels. Okay, so if you want to, edit your label individually, you have to convert it to annotation. Okay, but for QGIS, you don't have to do that. You have a, the label, the toolbox over there. You can just rotate or do anything. Okay, all right. So I actually have more about labels to share with you, but we can do that next week. And I also found a very interesting video from our, the UC conference. But that lady, she goes too far. She talked too fast. I'm sorry, too fast, faster than Jane. But I will send that link to you, and you can watch from there, including that generalization I went to. Okay. All right, guys, that's it for today. That's it for today. Thank you. I wish you a great weekend. And tomorrow, if you have any questions, I do have office hours tomorrow. Okay? All right. Have a wonderful night and a nice weekend. Take care. Bye.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Sure. Bye.